Hi, my name is Barry Doyle. I'm a personal injury and workers' compensation lawyer in Chicago. What we're talking about today is what's a nurse case manager, what do they do in a workers' compensation case, and why having one assigned to your case should make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. This is important information for anybody who's been involved in a work-related accident where they have significant injuries, because that's the most likely time where you're going to see a nurse case manager. And having a nurse case manager put on your case sounds like a great thing, but it's really not. We're going to talk about why. This is important information for anybody who is involved in a serious accident. If you can hit like, hit share, if you know anybody who's been involved in a significant work accident where they're likely to have a nurse case manager assigned to their case. This passes on the information and makes it available to people who can really benefit from it. So the topic today, what's a nurse case manager, what do they do, and why should you be bothered when one is assigned to your case? And finally, what can you do about it? Now, when you're assigned or involved in a work-related accident, one of the benefits that you get is you get payment of your medical expenses. Now, your medical expenses are picked up by the insurance company, by the workers' comp carrier, or if your employer is self-insured, then in that case, they end up picking up the tab for it. But one way or another, it's a significant benefit. And the longer you're off work, the more medical care you have, the more significant kinds of medical care you have, the more expensive the claim is for your employer, for their insurance company. And these are profit-making businesses, obviously, but at the same rate, you need to be aware that the care that you need is costing them money. And at some point, they want to put a cap on the kind of care that you can get. Once the numbers start to add up for the kinds of care that you're getting, whether it's just your medical care or you're off work an extended period of time, they're likely to assign a nurse case manager to your case. And the way that it's usually presented is that this is somebody who's there to facilitate your medical care, and to some extent they can, but the reality is a very different one. These are people who are going to show up to your doctor's appointments, talk to you while you're in the waiting room. If you allow them, they'll talk to your doctor. And these can all be bad things, because the things that you may tell them while you're sitting in the waiting room tend to end up in their reports that they file with their insurance company. If you have a lifting restriction, for example, you have a back injury and you tell the nurse case manager, I'm a little sore today because I was out in the garden doing some work over the weekend. I shoveled some snow. I may have tweaked myself lifting groceries. These are the kinds of things that end up in the report, and the insurance adjuster, whose job it is to limit the costs of your care, to limit the cost of the claim overall, are going to be looking at that and trying to think, is this something that we can do to justify asking for an IME, which is never a good thing, or is this the kind of thing that we can use to justify cutting off benefits? Is this the kind of thing that we can justify saying that you're really ready to return to work? These are recommendations that they make, notwithstanding anything that your treating doctor may say. The other way that the nurse case manager may end up interfering with things is by having discussions with your healthcare providers about what's gone on with your care, and try to provide them with information that would change the course of your care. Your doctor sees what he sees. They make decisions based on the information that they have, that they're seeing with their own eyes, that they're feeling with their hands when they're doing a physical exam of you. But if somebody starts providing selective data to your doctor, this is something that's interfering with what your doctor wants to do. It's never a situation where they're giving you information that would justify providing you with additional care that he thinks is appropriate. It's not the kind of information they're going to provide that's going to justify keeping you off work or putting you in position to get job retraining if that's something that's appropriate. It's going to be something that's going to be designed to limit the kinds of benefits that have to be paid to you. In the end, this is all something that never works out to your benefit. It's kind of like having a spy in your camp, and that's never, ever a good thing. So, if you're in a situation where you're handling a case on your own, you've decided to go without a lawyer for whatever reason, and a nurse case manager gets involved, it may feel like a good thing because you're like, oh, here's a healthcare professional who can help with things. And the reality is that's not why they're there. And that's not what the nurse case manager does. They're there to work for the benefit of the insurance company or the trucking company, depending on who's paying for all the benefits that you're getting. So what are the kinds of things that you can do? And one thing is that you can condition the nurse's involvement in your medical care. Simply tell them, you can't talk to my doctors. You do have a physician-patient privilege, notwithstanding the fact that the insurance company is paying for this. The fact that they're paying for it doesn't justify them speaking directly with your doctor. You can keep them out of the examining room. There are nurse case managers who are aggressive enough to want to literally sit in on your appointments and watch you be examined. That's not something that they're allowed to do. And experienced workers' compensation lawyers know that, when a nurse case manager gets involved, that it's not something that works to the benefit of somebody who's been hurt. They also know that they can put a cap on what the nurse case manager can do and can't do in the context of your workers' compensation case. That's one of the very basic things that a workers' compensation lawyer is going to do, and that's protect your interests when a nurse case manager gets involved to make sure that you get the kinds of care that you need without problems or difficulties that are unnecessary, and do the best that they can to make sure that you're getting the care you need so you can go back to work and start living your life the way you did the day before you got hurt. Okay? So when a nurse case manager gets involved, the reason that you want to be aware that this isn't a good thing is because essentially, it's putting a spy in your camp, and that's not something that's going to ever work out to your benefit. I hope this has been helpful information. It should put into context for you exactly who a nurse case manager is and why that's not a good thing for your case. If you think this has been helpful information, please hit like, please hit share, circulate this information to people who are in your network who may benefit from this kind of information. If you need more information regarding this, you can feel free to visit our website, www.rightsofinjuredtruckers.com. Fill in a contact form. We'll be happy to get back to you. You can also call our office at area code 312-263-1080, and we'll be happy to talk to you. There's no charge for the call. There's no obligation to hire us. We're in the business of providing good information that helps truck drivers after a work-related accident and help them get back to living the lives they lived the day before they got hurt. Knowledge is power. The more that this information is shared and circulated amongst truck drivers, the better off guys are going to be after they've been involved in a work accident. Hope this has been helpful. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.